to my channel, or welcome back if you are new. So before we get started on today's video, I would like for you guys to go down below really quick, hit that subscribe button if you are not subscribed. And I'm sorry, he's probably gonna be bugging me in the background. But also hit that notification bell, select all, so that way you are notified every time I upload a new video. So today's video is a little different. It is not me doing my hair for a change. And it's a bit of a change of background. You guys can see this is Mr. Casper. This is one of my two dogs. He is very worrisome when I'm doing things. Yeah, so you'll probably see him there probably the whole video. He might be sniffing my hair, who knows, but he's probably not gonna leave now. So today's video is just gonna touch on something I brought up I think a video or two ago regarding me trying to hone in a little bit more on like my scalp care. So I do suffer from dandruff. I always have, to be honest. Even when I was relaxed, honestly, when I was relaxed, it was a lot worse. I don't know if that had to do with my hair being chemically treated or not. Not 100% sure, but it definitely was a lot worse when I was relaxed. Since I've been natural, I still have it from time to time. And that's why me personally, I do have to shampoo my hair. Co-washing is only for, let's say, I need a quick midweek restyle. That's the only time I'm going to co-wash. So dandruff basically is a fungus. I want to say I also read somewhere that it's technically overgrowth of yeast on the scalp. But there are levels to the severity of dandruff. So mine, I would say, is kind of mild now. I feel like it was a little more than mild. I think maybe moderate when I was relaxed, but it's mild now. And I have kind of been doing some things to help a lot more with the buildup on my scalp. So that's basically what I'm gonna go over with you guys today. And this is also good for people that have dry scalp. So sometimes people don't necessarily have dandruff. I was told by a hairstylist back in the day that dandruff smells and flakes just flake, like it doesn't smell. So I don't know how much truth that is, but I definitely suffer from dandruff. Of course, that's the little white stuff you'll see on your shoulders. You wear black shirts, you try to avoid it, all that stuff. But of course, if it is severe, you definitely want to make sure. Okay, sorry you guys, I had to take a pause to see why my other dog was starting to bark. She's back there in our bedroom being antisocial, so I honestly don't know where I left off. But in any event, I want to share because I feel like you can never have enough videos on dry scalp and kind of scalp health. And I know personally I watch a lot of natural hair content. That is what I love. That is kind of one of my passions, to be honest. Hence what sparked me to start this channel, crazy enough, almost 2 years ago. I can't even believe it. May even be 3 by now. No, definitely 2. Definitely 2. I want to say I started my channel in 2018. So that's nuts in itself. But that's what sparked my passion for this. But I definitely think there's not a whole lot of talk about scalp health and you know, just to kind of combat that. Of course, if it is severe, I think that's what I was getting at, you definitely want to get you a dermatologist and go see them about it. I have not seen a dermatologist. I just know in the you know, few hairstylists I've had, they are obviously familiar with seeing it. I've heard that from multiple hairstylists that I've had that I do suffer from at least just dandruff. As far as I'm concerned, like the things that I do it goes away and it kind of minimizes it, or it like lessens it. Now I still will have, you know, flakes and things like that from time to time on my scalp. It is what it is, but whatever I can do to minimize it being kind of in excess, that's what my plan is. So I'm gonna go over some products that I have been using, and then 2 products that I would like to use. The 2 of the products that I'm going to show today, actually 3 of the products that I'm going to show today, I have used with these braids. Now these braids are getting a little old. They are 2 weeks old as of this week. The video for this should be up before this one. So if so, I will link it in the cards above, so that way you can check it out on how I install these braids, the inspiration behind it, all that good jazz. You'll be able to check that out. But the first thing I would like to get into is my Design Essentials Peppermint and Aloe Soothing Scalp Tonic. And I will also put a picture of this up on the screen as well. But this is the first product that I got this back in, I want to say January, when I got my blowout done, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I bought this from the salon that I go to, Texture Hair Care Center, and I was like, well, let me just get this, because sometimes like my scalp, it just gets so itchy. Sometimes I can barely make it a week before my scalp is just covered in buildup from products and things like that. So I have to be very careful to put product only on my hair. I have to be very, very careful not to touch my scalp. It seems like buildup and dandruff come out of nowhere just like that. So I bought this to see if it would help, and I used it like one time and then just didn't use it. I don't know why. I just stopped using it all of a sudden. Then I was like, let me get serious about my scalp care. I actually go in before I shampoo my hair for wash day and use this, because you can use this as a pre-shampoo treatment, and you can also use it as a leave-in scalp treatment. So you can use this before wash day as far as your shampoo, and you can use this after you've shampooed and all that good stuff. I personally only use this for pre-shampoo and a leave-in from time to time if I need it. I did actually use this on my scalp, I want to say yesterday, and my scalp still is good. As far as, it's like a few, maybe teeny tiny bit of flakes here and there randomly, but overall I don't have any dandruff on my scalp right now, and the last time I washed my hair was last week. This stuff is really good. This is for purifying and detoxifying, is the claims on here. Immediate itch relief, oil absorbing. So sometimes we overproduce sebum, which is the natural oils on our scalp, and I feel like that kind of can contribute sometimes, depending if that sebum is cross-contaminated with something on your scalp, you know, that'll kind of overgrow dandruff as well. But since I've been using this consistently, prior to me putting in my braids, even afterwards, but prior to me putting in my braids 2 weeks before, I was using this beforehand, then going into another product, which I will show you in a few minutes. I was going in with this first, working it in on my scalp. And contrary, I did ask my hairstylist about this. I was like, because it's such a big taboo subject about not scratching your scalp. I'm sorry, when I was growing up, in essence, overall, the very few hairstylists I had, and most of my experience was in high school, because that's when I was starting to work, so I could pay to get my own hair done and things like that. They use a combination of their fingernails and the pads of their fingers. So I asked her, I said, is it a bad thing to scratch, quote unquote, scratch your scalp? Because the way I see it, when your hair itches, when your scalp itches any other day, you use your fingernail. You don't necessarily use the pads of your fingers. You might, but most of the time people are going in and just scratching. And she was like, yeah, she said it's nothing wrong with you using your nails, as long as you're being gentle, and you can go between scratching some, obviously lightly, with your nails and then using the pads of your fingers, or using a shampoo brush, which some of them have multiple bristles. She was like, you can use that to scratch up, but she's like, with you having dandruff, you absolutely want to make sure those flakes are off your scalp before you shampoo. Never knew, because honestly, I would just go straight in. I just didn't, I don't know, I just didn't think it was a big deal. And then she was like, because that's how you can have flakes still in your hair and you've already cleaned it, because you didn't actually get it up off your scalp, so that way it can actually run out of your hair, you know. So just learning things like that. So I go in with this, and this is great. You do get that very much that peppermint feeling on your scalp. Feels like your pores are just breathing, and for me personally, that feels so good on my scalp. It feels amazing, especially when your hair is really itchy, your scalp is really, really itchy. This does wonders for alleviating that itch. This is ideal for hair extensions, wigs, braids, and other protective styles. So that's perfect for this, which, like I said, I did use this yesterday, but that's not the only time you can use that. If you got your hair just a mini twist, or, whatever protective style you have it in, you can use that as well if you have any scalp irritation. And just so y'all know it's real, I got a second one on backup. I don't know why this one has this top on here. It looks kind of weird, but I already got another one on standby for when I'm done with that one. After I go in with my pre-shampoo treatment for my scalp, usually I'll let that sit for maybe about 10 to 15 minutes, usually more closer to 10 minutes. Then I go through with a rat tail comb or pintail comb, and I gently scratch my scalp. Very gently. I mean, when I say gently, I mean I'm barely rubbing my scalp with the comb, just enough to get the flakes up off my scalp. I find that my scalp gets a lot cleaner, and it stays dandruff free as well. So I'm on to something with that. I'm not gonna lie. So then I follow up with my first shampoo every wash day, regardless of whether I'm using a moisturizing shampoo, a cleansing shampoo, whatever the case may be. This is the shampoo I have been following up with, which is the Rosemary and Mint Mielle Organics shampoo. I really like this shampoo. I'm mad she pulled what she pulled. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, the mess she pulled with the YouTuber Linda Lynn, I don't like it. I'm be honest, I did not like it. So if you want to know the full details of that, you can just look up Linda Lynn Mielle Organics, and I promise you it will come up in the search on YouTube. I promise you. And you can watch what happened to her, what Monique did to her, what Monique's husband did. It was a whole mess, and it kind of puts me in an awkward spot. Luckily, I don't own a lot of Mielle Organics products. I stopped really buying them heavily. A couple years ago, to be honest. So I just don't, it's not something I use, but this collection I really, really like. I bought multiple times. This is probably like my second or third bottle of shampoo. I actually bought this during, I want to say Black Friday. And I just started using it a few months ago, because it takes a while for me to use this. But off that soapbox, I then go in for my first shampoo with this. I concentrate this on my scalp. So I'll take some, I pump a little bit and actually just put it on my scalp. I'll kind of part my hair with my hands, put it on my scalp, and work it on my scalp. Now, naturally, you're going to get some of this on your hair strands. It's not a big deal, but I don't work it down my strands. I focus this on my scalp. If I need to go in with my shampoo brush or my scalp massager, I will, to kind of further break up any dandruff that might be on my scalp. But I always use this for my first shampoo, no matter what other shampoo I'm using. Then of course I go in with my second shampoo with whatever I'm using for that day. But I've used this every single wash day for the past month and a half, and it has definitely helped a lot with my scalp health. But once I follow up doing that, sometimes I go in after I've applied my leave-in and cream and whatever I'm about to do. I'll go in and do this step, or usually I try to do this on damp hair, or either once I've actually styled my hair but it's still damp. I then go in with an oil on my scalp, and I do have the rosemary mint oil as well. I'm about halfway through this one. I do love this oil as well. This is what I've been had, but I'll use this, or I will use my Tisha Rose hair growth oil. This stuff is bomb. My very good friend, this is one of her oils. I will of course link all the products down below, including this, but this stuff is so good. It just is, and it smells really good. So between the two of these, I will go in on my scalp with that while it's still a damp scalp, I guess is kind of what I'm trying to get at. So that way I feel like I'm sealing in any type of moisture that may still be resting on my scalp. I don't necessarily always do it right before my leave-in, but I do give me a nice good massage for a couple minutes on my scalp with that, and then I go in style. Or if I'm doing like a twist style or something, I have easy access to get to my scalp, I will use one of those oils, and I just kind of rotate between the two. Honestly, I gravitate more towards this one because I want to go ahead and use it up versus this one, because I'm trying to hold on to this as long as possible. Even though of course I can go on the website and get more, but honey, why use this up, my good oil, when I can still just use something that's just as good? But you know, it ain't, you know, I like to save my stuff, I like to preserve it, you know what I'm saying? So, and I've had this a while anyway, so I need to kind of use it up. But that's what I do. And honestly, everything I'm doing so far has been working really good for me. I'll even show you now. Let's see, because even if you look on my scalp now, it's probably not the clearest, but even now, like, I don't have a lot of buildup on my scalp. Like, I can't believe it. And definitely, like, across my front here, I usually always have, like, I mean, caked up, especially in this area here. Always caked up. Always caked up. And, like, I had, I think, a few, like, little flakes here and there somewhere on the front. But it would be, I'm telling y'all, bad. Bad. I don't have any pictures, unfortunately, like, of what it looked like. I don't even know if I would want to show those, to be honest. But it gets bad. It gets really bad. But luckily, with these braids, it's been very easy to take care of my scalp. A lot of times when I get box braids, for me personally, I don't know, it's just not easy because they're so heavy. Now, these get heavy because they're long. They're very long. But I don't know, I'm able to work with these a little bit better than some of the other box braids I've gotten before. And I don't really care much about, like, this frizzing up and stuff. Like, I don't really care. I really don't care. Because, I mean, it's getting old at this point, and I have natural hair, so why wouldn't it get frizzy like it's getting, you know? But my scalp has been really doing well. I can't complain at all. It has definitely improved a lot now that I'm actually focusing on my scalp. So definitely, if you have scalp issues, dry scalp, dandruff, you know, leave down below what you use on your scalp. I've heard ACV rinses are really good. I don't know anything about those personally. Well, I've used it before. I used the Cream of Nature one, and I actually really like that, but I wasn't using it for scalp health. I don't even know if I knew that. I was watching a video earlier on YouTube, and someone said ACV rinses, and I'm like, oh, I used to use that religiously. I'll put a picture of that on the screen, of course, of what that is. But I like that. It's pre-mixed. I mean, it doesn't overly smell like ACV, but you can smell it in there, but it smells just like the line. And I personally like the smell of that particular line. I used to use that religiously when I was relaxed. Definitely the later part of me being relaxed, going into transitioning to natural, I kind of had to stop using it because it just wasn't effective for me anymore. My natural hair won't having it. But that ACV I did actually only use on my natural hair, and I love it. So I would recommend this if you know, you want to try out ACV rinse, but maybe not necessarily want to mix it up yourself. And it has other ingredients, of course, in it. So, I mean, give it a shot and see. I really liked it though. But let me know what you do down below. If you have dry or itchy scalp, dandruff issues, what you use that's non-prescription. Let me know about that down below. Definitely leave any questions you may have for me down below as well. I've been seeing a slight spike in the comment interaction, so I definitely want to keep that going. I want more and more and more and more and more comments. So definitely, you know, write down below. I do always respond to those as well. And yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video.